Streaming has reshaped the music industry. It's also been a major catalyst for growth. Next week, music subscription service Spotify is preparing to go public, and that brings music streaming platforms into investor focus right now. For more on how streaming has changed the music ecosystem, let's bring in Kerry Trainor. He's the CEO of SoundCloud. It is billed as the world's largest open audio platform. And Kerry, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks so much for having me. Great to be with you.
Let's talk about a little bit about what SoundCloud is for those who are uninitiated. There are two sides to this, for the music creators and then those listeners. How does that work?
That's exactly right. So when we say SoundCloud is the largest open audio platform, it's because creators have the ability to directly upload content and share it with listeners anywhere in the world. In fact, we're the largest platform dedicated to audio and allowing creators to do that. So at core, we're really a tool set for creators so that they can reach the world with their work, build an audience, start to monetize. But that also makes us a very different kind of streaming service where, because the content's coming directly from the creators, we have a huge catalog, in fact, larger than any of the other mass streamers, and arguably the only de facto exclusive catalog, because a lot of that content's coming directly from those creators.
Do you own that content, or you just
No, the creators own the
content,
but we provide the platform for them to share it with the world.
This is a situation where people are certainly paying attention to everybody considering Spotify, but you guys ran into some big problems last year. Last August, the company had to go back out for additional financing, and I think it valued you at around that funding came in at around $169.5 million versus the previous funding that had valued the company at around $700 million. You decided not to sell the company. That was your plan. Why is that? Why did you want to remain?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, I came to the company with investors because I think SoundCloud is just a one-of-a-kind asset. I mean, it's totally differentiated in the streaming space because of that direct relationship with creators. Right? And having that two-sided ecosystem, we believe that over time, in fact, the connection between creators and listeners will only become more direct. Right? So we did recapitalize the company over the summer. We're actually very pleased with our progress since then. We ended the year ahead of plan. We ended with over $100 million in revenue. We're ahead in all the dimensions that we had hoped in terms of usage growth, in terms of cash, in terms of revenue. So we feel very good about where the company is now.
What's the model? Does this look like Vimeo?
There are definitely similarities.
Is that what this is about?
Yeah,
for those who don't know what Vimeo is.
And by the way, you used to be the CEO at Vimeo.
No, but is that what this is? I mean, was that the concept in your mind?
There's a lot of similarities to Vimeo because the tools that we sell to creators, right? So we get paid on both sides of the ecosystem. So the creators pay SoundCloud to use the service, and that is an incredible business, right? When you're selling software tools to creators, has great margins, has great long customer lives, and it's very investable. You can apply capital to acquire those customers. And one of the key differences of SoundCloud, though, is unlike video, where there's many services competing for that, SoundCloud is really the leader in the audio tool space. So we're focusing on scaling that core creator tools business, but then also offering a differentiated listening service.
Because you want to be the back end for all. So that's the question. Does this become the back end for all music and podcast creators?
Look,
is that the concept?
SoundCloud is the closest thing to an operating system for audio creators, for music, for podcasts, for anybody.
But then the secondary goal is, then do you license? Or is the plan then to license the music off of SoundCloud onto Spotify, Amazon, and then do you get to collect any piece of that?
We haven't made any decisions yet to distribute music off of SoundCloud onto other services. It is a technical possibility, but it's not something we've decided to do yet. Right, so the path for the company is to focus on investment in those creator tools, right, which we know where we're totally differentiated and we have the leadership position. Then on the listener side, the key is we're focusing on a service that's around the differentiated content. We are not trying to offer the same exact 35 million song catalog that all the other streamers are. We, in fact, have over 170 million songs in our catalog. So it's for a very dedicated, passionate music fan.
Yeah, how many listeners do you have that have signed up?
We don't disclose the total listener base, but I can tell you we're the #3 streaming app in the US and top 5 in most markets. So it's Spotify, Pandora, then SoundCloud.
One other quick question. Do you see the commingling of video and music coming together? The reason I ask is there's a view that, for example, Apple, which is investing all sorts of money in Hollywood, do they actually create a separate video subscription business, or do they try to merge it with iTunes and Apple Music? Does Amazon take its Prime Music business and its TV business, and is that effectively one? Does Spotify, which is rumored forever to want to get into the video business, does that become a video audio business together? And then where does that leave you?
Yeah, look, it's an interesting question, but I think one of the core things we continue to see is it gets very confusing from a UI perspective, from the user experience, right? When you come in, for most people in music mode want to be in music mode, right? And so we're really focused on that audio use case. There are video components on the service. However, we're really focused on continuing to be the world's largest open audio platform because we think that is a huge lane for empowering the creators as well as offering direct access to those creators for listeners. And as we put it, look, SoundCloud is the place where creators and listeners come first. Right? SoundCloud is about discovering and be there and connecting with that creator very early in their career.
I understand why the creators want to do it, but I think of like a blog site. I don't want to know every person's waking thought. How do you convince enough listeners to come into this business?
Well, you have to remember, music is so focused on discovery. Right? So for creators, that opportunity to put their work in the world and do so immediately, directly, with no gatekeepers, that's what SoundCloud offers.
Sure. I just don't know that I want to be part of the audience.
Well, look, I can understand that, right?
Yeah.
But when you're at that passionate music discovery phase of your life, think about 16 to 25, right? Before your music tastes settle in for most people for the rest of their lives, you are digging around, always trying to discover what's new, and that's where SoundCloud thrives.
All right. Thank you for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.